forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio. Soundtrack.
Can you feel the love on a stranger's face? When my people dancing through time and space. Is our energy when we come down there? They say all we know is to jump and wave. It's in every creed and race, and the carnival is the holy grail. Right here, living the mass all year. I feel I could stay right here. Look how the mass are wear. Everybody charge up, we going high up, full of energy. Everybody charge up, we going high up, full of energy. Love is the only energy. Mama, you know when my heart is buried in the savannah, from the hills in Gonzales, I could hear the panorama. You know where my waist is, behind a pretty girl. Familiar faces make the sweetest bacchanal. Cause there's our energy when we come down here. They say all we know is to jump and wave. It's in every creed and race, and the carnival is the holy grail. I feel like
is the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Everybody charge up, we going high.
Everybody, and when we talk about everybody, that means you, that means you, that means you too. Wherever you may be this morning, charge up, full of energy. It's good looking Monday morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Trinidad, Tobago, neighbors in the Caribbean, friends who stream all around the globe. Good morning to you. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. You're ready for this weekend. As we get ready to celebrate Republic Day in Trinidad and Tobago on Wednesday. We're happy to be here with you on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean, taking you above and beyond. People, I'm yours truly, Sir Charles. Check it in. Happy am I to be here with you as I welcome you wherever you may be. Remember, this is your Get Up and Go. We welcome everybody to the Breakfast Show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
All right. Good morning, people. Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's Monday morning in Trinidad and Tobago, as I'm sure it is Monday morning in other parts of the globe, except probably in Japan and Australia. We're happy to be in the land of the living. Condolences to those who would have lost loved ones. And happy birthday. I have an extensive birthday list to give. So, well, let me say good morning to your co-host and my co-host, Richard Raghubasing and Sir Charles.
Well, good morning, guys. Sorry about that, Richard. Good morning, guys, and good morning, everybody.
Yeah, good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever you are across the planet, and a special good morning to you. And of course, we could start off by saying condolences to the family and friends of Sterling Henderson. Died yesterday, was it?
Saturday.
Yeah. That was a shock.
It was indeed a shock.
I mean, that was a shock. I think that was a shock generally to me.
Yes.
I know he had some courses and stuff that he was doing now, besides being a media person and reading news and stuff like that on I-95. I mean, he was just a name you knew. I mean, you've been interviewed by him a couple of times. At least I have been.
Yeah.
And we talk sometimes when you see each other. You stand up and talk and say how you're going and that sort of thing. So it was certainly a shock to certainly the media community.
Yeah, it was indeed. I mean, I knew Sterling well. I mean. He's been a long-standing member of the media fraternity. His voice is well known, especially at Carnival time. Also, he doesn't just read the news; he does color commentary for Pan and so on. All those shows at the Savannah.
Not just Pan and Carnival; he does other events.
Yeah.
Other events.
Yeah. So it was very sad hearing the news and I mean, he was to work that same morning and didn't show up for work. Those are things that really baffle you sometimes. You wonder why, you don't know what people are going through. I mean, the circumstances surrounding his death has not been made public. But, I mean, we don't know. I mean, what...
He was ill or whatever.
Yeah. Because he would have read the news the day before. He was the deputy head of news at I-95 for years. He's been So condolences to his family, you know, and to the media fraternity in general.
And if you want to go through your birthdays.
Yes, I can do that. I can do that quickly. Lots of birthdays over the weekend. But today is the birthday of Margaret Rose. She's an attorney at law, very prominent one at that. Valerie Mendoza, our own Valerie Mendoza, Miss Dabity, is celebrating her birthday.
Right. Yes.
And we had maybe what you could call a pre-birthday party on Friday. I'll tell you all about that a little later. But happy birthday, Miss Dabity, Valerie.
Yeah, happy birthday, Miss Dabity.
Yeah. Michael Wood, my Jamaican friend. Shannon De Castro, he works out of the mayor's office in Port of Spain. Simone McLean, Davidson Bob. Shane De Silva is the sister of Sheehan, and her brother used to run for Trinidad and Tobago. He was a quarter miler. What was his name again? My God, why is his name just gone out? They're all S's. Anyway, from Valencia. Morning and happy birthday, Shane. She's a football referee also, plays cricket. Lawrence McEachran, Sandra Kennedy, Shazane Braxton, Apollonia Salandi celebrated her birthday yesterday. And yesterday was also the birthday of Laura Lezama. She celebrated her birthday yesterday also. So belated birthday greetings to Laurel. And
happy birthday, Laura.
Yeah.
Lauren.
Tracy Davidson Celestin was on Saturday, and so was Nigel De Freitas, former president of the Senate. They were all on Saturday. All right. So, and anyone else celebrating a birthday today, September 22nd, have an absolutely fantastic.
Let me send out some happy birthday greetings going out to Nelicia Niles. Happy birthday to you, Nelicia. Greetings are coming from your mom and dad, Christine and Ben Niles. And we wish you a happy day today as you do whatever you have to do today. Your day.
Okay, young Miss Niles celebrating her birthday today. I know her parents well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me get into the good news. The good news segment. Of course, I have a video to show of a young boy, a 3-year-old boy doing math, but also good news was TKR winning the CPL final last night. For those of you who the match was a little too late and you were in your bed already, and you were wondering what happened, well, they won. So that's good news too.
That's great news.
So,
everybody who went to that game walked with a torch, right? All the Trinidad fans.
Well, look at Trinidad was so far outnumbered. But I said a Guyanese started to switch to Trinidad because some of them married to Trinidadians. So they started to switch to Trinidad TKR at some point in time. But the game was a humdinger of a game. My God, you have to be real good sometimes with this TKR team.
Sport in general, yes?
Yeah, no, especially with TKR, your heart better be good. The name I was trying to remember is Neil De Silva. He ran quarter mile for Trinidad. And belated birthday greetings also to Maureen Dilchan Maharaj. She also celebrated her birthday on Saturday. God, all right?
Okay.
So let me see. We have lots of good news.
Yes, I have a lot of good news. I had a video with a little boy, 3 years old, doing math, believe it or not.
Buys a backpack for $39.99 and a calculator for $12. The tax is 6%. What is the total? $39.99 plus $12 equal to 9.0 is 9. 9.0 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1 and then 1. 1.3 plus 3 plus 1 is 5. 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 5. 1 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 plus 1 is 5. 1, 2. Stop 1, 2. Oh, line it up. And the dollar sign. $51.99. $51.99 times 0.06 equal to 9 times 6 is 54. Carry the 5 and then 4. 9 times 6 is 54 plus 5 is 59. Carry the 5 and then 9. 1 times 6 is 6 plus 5 is 11. Carry the 1 and then 1. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 1 is 31. $3.12.
Good. Approximately how much?
It's approximately $3.12.
Okay. So what's the total now?
Let's see. $51.99 plus $3.12.
Good.
I put the dollar sign there
Mhm.
and the plus there.
Okay.
9 plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1 and then 1. 1 plus 9 plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1 and then 1. 1 plus 1 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 0 is 5. Now decimal point. $55.11. So the total is $55.11.
Good job.
Oh, my word.
Richard, that could easily pass as your little son, eh?
3 years old.
Wow.
Excellent.
Can you believe that?
He's
I have
very
adults,
well-
I have adults who have problems doing that.
You telling me? But he's also good at English language. He speaks well for a 3-year-old child.
And not only that, he's reading the actual math problem
Yeah.
and
He's working
understanding
it out
what the math,
out
what the
loud.
math problem is. Yes.
Yeah.
And then working it out. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. NASA will probably be looking for him one time.
Yeah. Good at math. Math was never my favorite subject.
Was it anybody's favorite subject?
Yeah, some people love math.
Well, you'll meet now and then you'll meet people who say I love math, but generally you won't find someone who say I love
that.
math.
So that was our good news for today. Together, of course, with the TKR win. So now you know.
Yeah, so TKR won, last night, into the morning, because I was up all 1 a.m. this morning because I was watching. I didn't look at TV6 at all. I can't stand the coverage that TV6 is giving. So I didn't. I went to my Fire Stick and I looked at it. Of course, the after match presentation was done. And of course, our very own Minister of Sport, Philip Watts, was there in Guyana to lift the trophy with the guys. So congratulations to Nicholas Puran, the captain of the TKR team, who said he's been waiting 13 years, of course, on this. And Dwayne Bravo, who went from player to captain, now to coach. And of course, Karen Pollard and Sunil Narayan and everybody else who played and contributed to that victory last night, especially Akil Hussain, who won man of the match. You know, Akil Hussain is such a humble young man. I mean, when he did an interview after he I mean, he said everything. And Pollard, of course, was a little hurt by the booing that he gets whenever he plays outside of Trinidad, you know. So, and he mentioned it, you know, because
why he gets booed anytime he plays outside of Trinidad?
I don't know why. Jealousy, whatever, you know. I mean, Pollard, I mean, is a super player, probably one of the most talented T20 players in the world, you know. So I don't know why he didn't go into any details, but he said that West Indies cricket is in such a bad state. I mean, and we are playing such excellent cricket. What is this all about? You know, so he made a very impassioned plea, I guess, for us to stop that nonsense. You know,
it's our people that were booing him, or what?
Yeah,
the people who was
he was hurt, Magic. You know, he was hurt. He just saying he wasn't personally hurt by it, but you can tell it has affected him.
No, but is it West Indian people who are West Indian?
Yeah, West Indian people that he got booed in Ghana. You know.
What other people would boo him, such as?
Pollard, a private jet that's come for Pollard to go and play cricket in India, you know. He and his family, you know. Yeah. But
I know Kieran Pollard is one of the few cricketers.
I argue today with people now.
As the Kieran Pollard is one of the few cricketers I know that does come to theatre.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, the others, I don't know. Some of them come by. I know Sydney does.
Yeah.
But he's here.
Yeah. But Friday, of course, we had another impromptu line because it was said here on radio. Far Rockaway is in the country, and Charmaine, so they organized a little line Friday by Rumbox, and they organized a little line Friday by Rumbox, and quite a few of our fans on the breakfast show showed up. And my God, Far Rockaway, you one miserable, provocative man, eh?
Why didn't show the video? You take video. Why didn't show it to
us? Why didn't you
show the video, Wendell?
Yeah, sure, you show it. You see all over there. You can show all over there. So I don't have to call names. But Charmaine, of course, I think she might have just landed back in New York. She took the red-eye flight back home. So she probably would have just landed.
She messaged me last night to tell me she was...
And Rockaway would be back home also.
Yeah. Oh, Rockaway, he left also too last night.
He left on Saturday night.
All right. Yes, he left the night.
It's early morning. Yeah, into Sunday morning.
Yeah, but it was a kind of impromptu birthday line for Miss Davide, who was there. Zena was there. Mrs. R was there. Far Rockaway was there. Lincoln was there. Who else? Odell Guy was there. Carol Guevara was there. I know I'm missing someone. Well, Gail, of course, is Far Rockaway's sister. She was also there. And yeah, I think I covered everybody there. I think I covered everybody there. If I forget anybody, please feel free to remind me. But of course I did a video that I sent to the chat, but I don't know if the guys and them could pull it up. But yeah, so anybody who wasn't there, you was sorely missed. We had a great time. My God, Far Rockaway is an agent provocateur expert. He played it was like a breakfast show argument sometimes, you know. But of course, all in fun, eh? Carol Guevara, Miss Davide, Valerie Mendoza, Zena, Charmaine, CJ from New York, Lincoln, Jillian, Far Rockaway, Mr. Odell Guy, Rowley look alike. You missed Mrs. R, did you?
No, she was first.
She was first. Okay. I
Yeah.
Mrs. R.
Because guess what? I will squeeze it till I
Carol
can't.
Guevara.
Then you'll feel it.
So but
Miss
some
Dabney,
places,
Valerie Mendoza. Zena.
Zena.
the big bacchanal,
Charlene, CJ from New York. Lincoln. Jillian. Far Rockaway.
Mr.
Odell Guy. All right.
Well, none of them, they can't hide after today.
Nah. Everybody know them now.
I was part of the breakfast show live on Friday.
Friday.
at Rumbox.
At Rumbox. Yeah. What time that was? What time that was around?
That's a real rare
Somewhere
moment
between
that
8,
took place.
9, somewhere between 8 and 9, 7 and 9. I would say between 7 and 9. Power came early. You know, he and his sister came early, he and Gail came early. You know?
Right. So I mean in the evening, people started to come around 6.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, but it was nice. That was
one Friday that I wasn't in town.
Yeah, I myself. Well, let's greet the people on the stream very quickly.
Yeah, let's do that. DL came in at 12:02. Still watching the cricket match. Brennan Smith, good morning to the breakfast team. The curry war is over. Curry chicken has prevailed over the chicken curry. DL also says curry war over till next year. Great game and sportsmanship. Valerie Mendoza says good morning to the breakfast team. Congratulations to TKR. Happy birthday to me. Of course, we wished you happy birthday. The win made a good start to my birthday. Pamela Grimshaw, blessings to the best trio on radio. Anthony Tinto says good grand rising and happy birthday to Miss Valerie. Suzanne Jessup. Suzanne, we missed you and Suzette on Friday. Pity you couldn't make it. God's love and blessings from Suzanne, Suzette, and Mrs. Gemma. Erica Charles, Marcia Rock, Wendy Ann, and Frank James. TKR lifted the CPL trophy last night. Have a wonderful week. Margaret Thomas, Eunice Dublin, Ava Smith, Michael Cadet, Marlon Motley says good morning, Richard Wendell. And
Good morning, Marlon.
Cheryl Johnson from Malabar in Arima, Miguel Gonzalez, Richard Jeremiah, Boy Bidesi from Debe, and Noel from Oshawa, Ontario. Robert Taylor, Slick Money Grip. Carol Guevara says blessed and beautiful morning.
Morning, Robert. I was saying morning to Robert.
Oh, Carol.
Morning, Carol. Yeah.
Diane Payne also says good morning. Odell Guy, good morning. But Odell Guy, everybody. Everybody asking about you after Odell Guy. Oh God, he provoked them people too. Sherwin and Juliet Kerr, we missed you all on Friday. Huge congratulations to TKR and happy birthday, Miss Dabney. That's from Carol Guevara. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Diane Payne sends happy birthday. Subash also says good morning. Julia Batiste, Far Rockaway, good morning all, and a special good morning for the beautiful listeners I met at Rumbox with Wendell and Stephen Harper. All right. Kenny in Harlem says good morning. Lambert Bruce, happy birthday, Miss Dabney from Far Rockaway. Apollinaris also says good morning to the breakfast show. Katian Charles, we missed you on Friday. Special morning to Arlene in Baltimore. Katian, I think that's it, where she's. Carol Guevara, full of energy. Rena Jennings, we missed you on Friday. Susie B, good morning, everyone. Gavin Frank, Alistair Hart. Magic says grand rising, gentlemen. Condolences to the family of the Henderson family, of course, family of Sterling Henderson. James Kamau, Melchizedek says good morning. And Charmaine, who clearly just has landed and put that phone on the breakfast show immediately. Because I know you just landed. Good morning, everyone. I arrived at JFK Airport at 5:15 this morning and I'm on my way home. Thank you to the wonderful listeners I met at Rumbox and at Richard's Play. Much love. Condolences to his family. That's from Magic. Ambrose Blah, good morning. Mrs. R. Also to good morning. Mrs. R.
Good morning, Mrs. R.
She gets silence on Friday. And you know it's easy to silence her.
But I don't believe you.
Maureen Dilshan Maharaj, of course, her birthday was Saturday. GH, that's a new initial, says good morning. Doreen Pierce says good morning. Felix Kazo, Mrs. Harris sends Miss Davidi happy birthday greetings, and so to the CJ. Wayne Ramsey, good morning. Diane Payne, he's so brilliant. That's the young man. Good news this morning. Shema Paul. Sozi B, Devon loves numbers. Okay. Ambrose Brad, this is so cool for his age. Ava Smith, excellent job. Lenlise W, that's a brand new name. Mensa, here he comes. Sankofa say bountiful graces. Sankofa, you set us up Friday. Eh? I thought you were coming now. Magic talking about. Sankofa say happy birthday, Miss Dabadi. Sankofa say the Rumbox lime always when I work in. Lincoln, Zena. No, I can't forget Zena, Lincoln. You're crazy. You really think I can take the abuse? Thank you all for the birthday greetings from Miss Valerie Mendoza. Not Gail, Jillian. Oh, but he said Gail. Even in the video, I think he said Gail. Ron DeSantis Jr., that looked like a Republican convention at Rumbox. I missed out. Zena, don't look at her radio part. Great putting faces to names. Miguel Gonzalez, good morning. Joyce Phillip, top of the morning. Robert Harper, Anthony Atwell, Far Rockaway, and Jillian are my cousins. Yes, I swear he said Gail, you know. Even in the video, I think he said Gail. Nelicia Yates, Bernadette and Nelicia Yates, sorry. Estelita Sampson poll for today. Should the student be disciplined for locking the office? That's old news. And Ilya Rizan, good morning, guys. Of course, our guest this morning will be former acting commissioner now and deputy commissioner, Junior Benjamin. He'll be our guest in the next hour. So do not miss that interview. All right. Andre Reno also says good morning. Say, Charles, over to you.
So let me say good morning to Christine Niles, Miss Sampson, good morning. Kent, good morning, Laventel, Archbishop Ashton Clark, Mark, Mr. Beeps in PT Valley, Mr. Billy in Powder Magazine, Ron DeSantis is here also. Horatio, good morning to you. Slick Money Grip, good morning. Colin in Carenage on his way to work, and of course, Zena. All right, so people, we're going for the break and we will be back. So stay right there.
Pay $1 down on higher purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires. Certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services. Oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
It's the funniest comedy, rated 10 out of 10. You don't leave foul to watch Corn. Now hits the Central Bank Auditorium on Saturday the 27th of September at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 28th at 6:30 p.m. before heading to Sapa San Fernando on October 4th and 5th. It's the best show of 2025. You don't leave foul to watch Corn. September 27th and 28th at Central Bank Auditorium and October 4th and 5th at Sapa. Call 481-2185 for further information. You don't leave foul to watch Corn. Who does that?
course, tickets are out and available for You Don't Leave Out to Watch Con, which is on this weekend, Saturday at 8:30 at Central Bank Auditorium and Sunday at 6:30 at Central Bank Auditorium. Of course, this is our first time back in town after we opened for one night only at Queen's Hall. So we are now back in Port of Spain at Central Bank Auditorium this weekend. And tickets available at all K-Squared Fashions outlets in West Mall, East Gates, and Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. Electronics in Arima. That's where you can get tickets. Jubilee Rawi in Tunapuna and Tony's Florals in Valpark Shopping Plaza. And Champlain Auto Services in, of course, Champlain. That's where you can get your tickets for this weekend. Get them early. Trust me, as I always say, the feedback is tremendous. You can go to RSRR Productions Theater on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and you can get all of the information you require, including how to purchase tickets online, and also some of the reviews from people who came to the play, who have absolutely amazing things to say. This weekend, you want a stress reliever? Do not miss it. Of course, we go straight into the Express, and Wendell is, very anxious to read. Go ahead, Wendell.
But before I get into the Express, it is Jillian Small. She messaged, maybe it's Jill Farrockaway was saying why I thought it was Gail. But Jillian Small messaged Sharon Henry and Raymond Small, who I think is Farrockaway's brother. I think he's out there in Dubai. He's the father actually of Kimberly Small, who's a counselor in Sawa Lavantin. I found out that. So good morning, Mr. Small, and thanks for joining our show. All right, also to Joanne Cyrus. So I'll get straight into today's Express, September 22nd. Venezuela announces military buildup near Trinidad. That was news trending over the weekend. Cop shoots soldier over woman. 5 injured in Siparia if you're not from there. Crash during church walkathon. 5-star TKR wins CPL title. And woman buys $19,600 in fake gold in a police station compound. Now, she did all what they tell you to do, when you're doing those kind of transactions, go in a police station. Guess what?
She just didn't go with a jeweler.
She didn't go with a jeweler. So I hope she recovers her money. I don't know why. Scammers all over the place. My God. And there was another trending story over the weekend. I don't know if you all read it, about a prison officer, I think he is, who is detained under the SOE, is accusing the Minister of Homeland Security, alleging that he was meeting with gangsters in the prisons. That was a story that trended over the weekend.
Is that any other headlines at the Express?
Yes, it is.
Okay, but then my headline.
It's in my headline. It's in my headline.
No, so it's not in the Express.
It is in all the newspapers. You go ahead.
So then read the headline in the Express.
You might pick it up in your paper.
You're
you go
editorializing.
You go ahead.
So you see the work I have to do on the show?
and also in today's papers, you don't leave foul to watch corn. It's trending at the Central Bank Auditorium.
We had a bad press release yesterday, because the press release yesterday said that the Express printed said Cipriani College tonight, and people went.
No.
Yes. Yesterday, people said Cipriani College today, and people went to Cipriani College, and they printed some old press release, I guess. And so people called to find out, and they had to apologize profusely and said, no, that's an error on the Express.
My goodness. That's a terrible error.
Yeah, so. Anyway, so let me go to the Newsday before we get into Sir Charles and the Guardian. The Newsday today, C. Prasad, incoming CJ must prioritize access to justice and transparency. Swat Singh to review Trinidad and Tobago waste collection practices. Well, the waste collection practices, with all journalists, Swat Singh, that you need to concentrate on is that dump in Guanapu, because that dump in Guanapu is now a competing peak on the Northern Range.
It is.
So it is like a man-made mountain on the Northern Range. It is shameful. Shame on the PNM, who did nothing with regard to modernizing waste collection. Shame upon you, because we discussed this issue, and they always talk about, we're looking at waste collection. Since Hazel Manning days, they're talking about it.
Well, she
And
actually
nothing-
started something.
And nothing has happened, and that mountain has continued to grow. Soon it will surpass some of the mountain peaks in the northern range. That is how ridiculous it is, and I am not exaggerating.
No, you're not, because I walk outside and see it straight across the road from me.
Yeah, shameful.
Yeah.
Absolutely shameful. So I think, Minister, if you could start there and do something about that, I'm telling you, the residents of Arima and urban areas will, be so grateful that you don't have to see a mountain of rubbish in this day and age. And maybe let me get back to the actual news. Yeah.
Self-regulated. It's nice.
Mayor, take pride in San Fernando. Gonzalez probe allegations against Alexander and to the Puna vendors.
Wait, hold up. What's that? Gonzalez what?
Gonzalez probe allegations against Alexander and
to
the Puna vendors claim over seizure of goods dismissed. MSJ government shifting responsibility to citizens with stand your ground law, and Venezuela launches cleansing exercise near TT's northwest coast. So that's it for the news in the Newsday today. Over to Guardian for you, Sija.
Thank you very much. So, Tanku pilots bill to strengthen BIR powers, crack down on financial crime. Mohammed urges opposition to help repatriate TNT women, children from the Middle East. I don't know when that will end. 14.4 million Wallerfield Community Center sparks row. Elderly carpenter perishes in suspicious Savanetta fire. CWU raises alarm over executive shake-up at TSTT. Pedestrian killed crossing Solomon Hotroy Highway. And Justice C. Prasad warns nation on spending and use behavior. Some of the headlines in the Guardian today. Yeah,
all right.
that's
Those are all three of our newspapers. And I guess we could open the lines and take a few calls. Some interesting stories. That story about Venezuela in the Caribbean.
And that Venezuela flexing and of course semi-threatening Trinidad in a kind of way. I don't want to say full threatening, but kind of threatening. It's a direct consequence of some of the statements coming out from the current government.
Of course.
So they need to just shut up.
Yes.
That story that Wendell was talking about, that is in the Newsday. Richard, you want to read part of that story and we could probably get our poll from that, Wendell?
Yeah, why not?
The one that Mr. Gonzalez was asking about.
Yeah,
Richard.
well, it was a story that trended in all the newspapers over the weekend, actually, about the Minister of Homeland
And he said he was going to court about it, wasn't he?
Well, he's seeking advice from the Attorney General. He didn't say go to court, but he sought advice from the Attorney General and how to treat with it. Because
why is he seeking advice from the Attorney General? That's a private matter.
That's what the story said. And I can only go based on what the story said.
Oh, because that's a private matter. That's not a state matter.
Yeah.
The Attorney General is theoretically the attorney for the state.
Yes.
That's not a
But
state
he's now
issue.
a government minister.
Yeah, but it's not a state issue. It's not him as a minister. It's not something within his portfolio as a minister.
I understand what you're saying.
So the AG should simply say, that's not for me to give you advice. That's something that you would seek private advice on. That's what he should. That's the correct answer in case AG John Jeremy Sr. comes to the And I'm
well,
sure
maybe that's the advice he got. But
unless he's giving him advice as a friend, of informal advice. But you can't give state advice to a minister who has a personal issue.
Yeah.
Because that's how I see it. Maybe people see it differently. Maybe I'm missing something in terms of how it connects to the state. But I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyway, opposition chief.
I'm not sure how that
Opposition chief whip Marvin Gonzalez on February 20th called for an urgent investigation into allegations that Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander had met with imprisoned gang leaders during his time on vacation leave as a senior superintendent of police and during his current tenure as a cabinet minister. The allegations against Alexander being leveled by an attorney for imprisoned acting assistant superintendent prisons, Garth Wada. Gonzalez sent a text to Newsday via WhatsApp. There should be a swift and immediate investigation of these allegations by the police service and the prison service, and outcome of the investigation should be made available to the public. This is a troubling matter with serious national security implications. Gonzalez said Alexander and Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bissessa must not be allowed to evade the media and the public on this matter. The public has a responsibility to determine and to judge the suitability of those of us who occupy public office, especially at an office relating to national security that provides the occupant with access to sensitive national security information. In a pre-action letter issued to the minister on September 19th, Crystal Primus accused the state of unlawfully detaining him under preventative detention orders signed by Alexander. Primus argued that the detention on August 21st, when police officers took him to the Eastern Correctional Rehabilitation Center, was unlawful and tainted by bias. Guarda was later moved to Tetron Barracks on September 4th under a revocation order and remains housed there, the letter said. The attorney alleged that Guarda, who worked closely with the Police Services Intelligence Unit, became a target due to his supervision of high-risk inmates and his reporting of security threats. His attorney claimed that Alexander previously attempted, before he became minister, to secure unsupervised visits with prisoners, including a member of a radical Islamic group. These attempts were denied by Guarda, meaning creating personal animosity that influenced the detention orders, the letter alleged. I suppose it's kind of, because it's a state prisoner. I'm seeing the AG. I'm trying to see where the AG connection comes in. Yeah. Anyway, Primus said the attempts were contained in a report to former Commissioner of Prisons, Carlos Carrasp, who found it was without merit. Carrasp has since been sent on leave. To date, you have signed 2 preventative detention orders in respect of my client, accusing him of association with gangs, allegations you know to be untrue. I am seeking the immediate revocation of all detention orders issued against my client. It is my client's position that your decision was influenced by an improper motive and a clear conflict of interest due to a pre-existing relationship and personal animosity between you and my client, stemming from your recent visits to the maximum security prison and information that were communicated to the TTPS intelligence unit about your affairs. The article goes on. Do you want me to read more?
No, that's enough. I mean, anybody can find those articles were in all the newspapers over the weekend. So Kyle Guevara, it was in all the newspapers over the weekend, and of course, it's in today's Newsday also.
So there's some pretty serious allegations.
It is. Because
all plays out.
Yeah.
Is it based in any reality or is it just fabrication?
Well, it's coming from a senior prisons officer.
Yeah.
Who has since been detained under the act. So he is in a kind of way saying that his detention now is based on the fact that he exposed this situation.
But he's saying his detention is unlawful.
Yes.
Because of that. Yeah.
Yes. Politicians,
Interesting. I mean, I'm still not sure that requires advice from the AG.
Well, I mean,
the AG has to. Well. They have so many things overlapping there. There are so many things overlapping there.
You're going to make me change my suspected pool. Based on your ruminations, I'm going to now ask a different question.
No, but I mean, no, I'm just looking at the overlapping of interests now. Legal interests I'm talking about. So it's really, to me, that letter. Well, she sent it to the AG, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
But the detention orders come under the SOE. But if it's a criminal offense,
detention orders. It's
but
the
if it's
Minister of Homeland Security, not so?
Yeah, but if it's a criminal offense, it comes under the DPP. So that's why there's a lot of overlapping here. That's kind of a little confusing. But if it's a personal issue that you have to deal with, then I maintain that you need private advice.
Yeah.
So if you want to sue, which I think is what was indicated in social media yesterday, that he wants to sue to protect his name and his reputation, which he's entitled to.
Yes.
He's entitled to protect your reputation. I'm thinking that can't be done via the AG's office. That has to be done as in your personal capacity.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see if we can take a couple calls, and you guys could say A or B in the chat as to which one of the questions you want to go with. All right?
But we let our learned attorney decide.
Yeah. Fashion the poll there, Richard. While we take some calls.
I didn't look at it.
But look at your phone.
When they pick two things in the yeah.
What? Look at what?
At your phone.
Yeah. Right. So while we
281-1315, we can take a few calls. We have 8 minutes of calls to do.
Right. Hello. Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, Sir Charles.
Hi,
Good
Zena.
morning, Richard and Wendell.
Good morning, Zena.
Sir Charles.
Hi.
Thank you. Sir Charles had to get an early buffet.
For what?
Wendell, let's read out what the people say. And today I don't say nothing much, but today I sent my happy birthday to Miss Sting through you.
Oh,
Miss
okay,
Valerie, Miss Dabadi, you did not say Zena say happy birthday to Valerie.
Okay, no.
Just you call all who touch base. I'm going to hit you on your head with a hammer.
Oh yeah, no other quit already. All right, no problem. Okay, good.
No, I'm just saying today's a special day.
Yes, it is.
So
it
I
is.
just say happy birthday. You know, or we do get in on the call sometimes.
Okay.
So good morning, and I'm happy to see everybody on Friday. It was a great line. Well, then we have to do that more often.
Yeah.
You understand? Looking forward to that boat ride. I don't even want to talk. I want to dance and wind down low to the ground.
Yes.
I'll go on to all again.
Morning. Well, just next say you can't see the phone, Richard. Corn blocking your eye.
No. I'm debating between the two.
Yeah. Good morning.
I prefer the second one, but I mean,
yeah.
The second one. All right. Thank you. Caller, good morning.
The first one is good too, eh?
It's me? All my polls are good.
All right. Well, let's go the first one. Is that all right?
Sir Charles, you decide.
I had to take a deep breath there. So
I get you on your poll all day, you know.
Where the caller? Caller, where are you?
The first one is also good. It goes into the nitty-gritty of the substance.
Good morning to you, caller. All right, we go with the first one.
Where's the caller? Is he the caller? I'm hearing an echo.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Sir Charles.
Morning, David. Happy birthday.
Hola.
Happy birthday.
Morning, Wendell, and morning, Richard.
Morning.
So, thank you all for everybody who have sent birthday greetings to me thus far. I really appreciate it. Thank you all, and thank you all for the line on Friday.
All
So,
right.
no time is limited, but we can't talk much. But I have an issue with when the allegations that Marvin Gonzalez brought up and so on, I saw in The Guardian, that the Attorney General will have to advise, or that's how I put it. I don't know if he has to advise, but according to the Minister of Homeland Security, he will be speaking on Monday because these are advice from the AG. So what? I studied something, this thing sounds very suspicious. If it's something that happened, said yes and why, or if something didn't happen, just say no. But I kind of get suspicious all of a sudden when he said he will speak on Monday because he has to take advice from the AG. Is the AG a personal attorney or is the AG the Attorney General for Trinidad and Tobago and not a political party? Richard, you help me here, please. Thanks.
I'll answer that. The AG is ready for state business. He could give informal advice as a friend, but he's ready state business. He can't give advice formally. In my
the fact that the minister said he will speak on it today, I waiting to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. Hello, good morning to you, caller.
Yes, good morning. This is Billy. Good morning, guys.
Morning, Mr. Billy.
I just want to say it was a bit of sweet one for me, here in the death of still in Henderson, I-95.5 died there. Really, I used to like to hear his voice. He had a powerful, nice voice, especially when he's doing these outside broadcasts on Carnival. And, so he will be greatly missed. Condolences to his family and all his colleagues at 95.5. I want to say that. And then the sweet part is, watching the game. PKR won last night at the victory. But I want to say that cricket won because it was a very, very good final. It was a low-scoring game. I think Guyana, which I think was a mistake that one bad push, they only made 150 runs, which is very, very low in a final. But Trinidad, they prevailed and they got the run with loss of 7 wickets, but winning by 3 wickets, So congratulations to them. And I want to say Pollard at 38 very, very played well, and he deserved getting the man of the series for his good work. Thank you very much, guys. And you all have a very good station.
Yeah, you can hear the tiredness in Mr. Billy voice there.
Yeah, he's always tired. Like he was up late too.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Wendell was up very late too, but Wendell have energy in his voice this morning.
I have no choice. I'm hoping after today I give him more energy again.
Why? What going on happen?
I'll message you after.
You see
I don't miss that. Sir Charles.
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, hopefully relief. End of stress. All right, so our poll is up, people. Do you expect full disclosure from the Minister of Homeland Security reference his alleged meetings with imprisoned gangsters? Right? Do you expect full disclosure? Getting anything out of that minister? When they'll be here.
No prejudice to poll.
Yeah, no prejudice to poll.
No,
Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sir Charles. I miss you some days.
Yeah, thanks very much.
It's just one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, go ahead. We're going up to the news.
Okay, as usual. Listen, well, age didn't make no difference last night with my team. I watched it right through. And you see Mr. Alexander, he in a hot pants because he went into the prison because the man is a legend that he was in the van. He never talked to the people and he went and talked to the prisons all the time. Okay, I will call back.
Yeah, because you're confusing us more. I know what to do. We know what you just said, huh?
All right, so we go to the newspaper. So vote on the poll. Remember to vote yes or no first and then put your comments, right?
Yeah, don't forget our guest in the next hour will be Deputy Commissioner of Police, Junior Benjamin. He'll be on.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur says government is not making joke in the fight against corruption, as Parliament on Friday approved 2 major pieces of legislation aimed at tightening financial oversight. The Miscellaneous Provisions FATF Compliance Bill and the Counter-Proliferation Financing Bill impose fines of up to $1.75 million for breaches by financial institutions and listed businesses. For the first time, the Board of Inland Revenue will also have legal powers to investigate tax-related offenses, a move Thakur says will strengthen the fight against tax evasion, money laundering, and terrorist financing. The bills also give the Financial Intelligence Unit stronger enforcement authority and require greater transparency in company ownership to prevent the use of shell companies for illicit activity. Thakur said the reforms bring Trinidad and Tobago in line with international standards, protect the financial system from abuse, and safeguard the country's reputation. The bills passed with 27 votes in favor, none against, and 7 abstentions from the opposition PNM. Police are investigating the death of a 12-year-old girl whose body was discovered near a recreation ground in Friendship Village, St. Madeleine, on Saturday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as Mariah Senath, a student of St. Madeleine Secondary School, who lived at 3rd Street, Circle Drive, Hillview, Friendship Village. Her body was found shortly after 1 p.m. in a bushy area off a pedestrian track near the Friendship Village recreation ground. Authorities say Mariah had left her grandmother's home at Cipero Road around 7 a.m. that morning, reportedly to return to her father's house. She never made it. At approximately 12:50 p.m., a female resident who was walking in the area noticed a group of dogs and, upon closer inspection, found Mariah lying motionless on her back with what appeared to be a bruise to her stomach and grass around her neck. The informant immediately returned home and contacted the St. Madeleine police station. First responders arrived on the scene at around 1:08 p.m. and located the girl's body approximately 5 feet off the track. She was wearing a gray jersey and black 3/4 length track pants. The area was cordoned off, and investigators from Homicide Bureau Region 3 and crime scene investigations were called in. A high court ruling is being described as a landmark victory for teachers in Trinidad and Tobago. Justice Avasan Quinlan Williams has found that the Ministry of Education breached the constitutional rights of former secondary school teacher Nirmala Sesnarayan when it repeatedly denied her promotion, despite her earning a University of Trinidad and Tobago degree as required. The judge ruled that Sesnarayan was treated unfairly while colleagues with the same qualifications advanced. She was awarded almost $800,000 in damages for loss of earnings, distress, and vindication. Sesnarayan, who resigned in 2022 and later migrated, said she was frustrated by years of delays and broken promises. Her attorney, senior counsel Anand Ram Logan, says the case is a victory for hundreds of teachers who pursued UTT degrees after being promised promotions, only to later have their qualifications rejected. The judgment is expected to open the door to more legal claims from similarly affected teachers. Police are investigating a suspected gold jewelry scam that left a Chaguanas woman nearly $20,000 out of pocket. The 26-year-old victim told police she connected with a man on Facebook Marketplace who posed as a scrap gold dealer. On September 17th, she met the suspect at the Coroni police station compound, where she handed over $19,600 in cash for jewelry said to weigh 140 grams. But when she later tested the items at jewelry stores in Chaguanas and Port of Spain, she learned the pieces were fake. The suspect has been identified as a man from Thomas Street, Marival. He's described as slim-built, dark brown in complexion, about 5 feet 7 inches tall, with cornrows, heavy sideburns, and a mustache. He was last seen wearing a black jersey and black pants. Police are urging anyone with information to come forward. In the region, tensions are rising in the Gulf of Paria. Venezuela's defense minister, Vladimir Padrino Lopez, announced that the Venezuelan military will be moving closer to Trinidad and Tobago. In a televised address, Padrino said the deployment of 60 units to Sucre State, just 8 miles off Trinidad's northern coast, comes on the instructions of President Nicolas Maduro. He accused Trinidad and Tobago of being a source of fuel smuggling, weapons trafficking, and human trafficking across the narrow stretch of water that separates the two countries. The minister said the operation will cover all 15 municipalities in Sucre State, aimed at flushing out what he described as terrorist groups and drug trafficking organizations operating in the area. The move follows earlier warnings by Venezuelan officials of a possible military response to growing tensions in the southern Caribbean. In international news, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced that the United Kingdom is formally recognizing a Palestinian state, a move strongly opposed by the United States and Israel. Starmer said the decision, taken alongside Canada and Australia, is meant to revive hope for peace and keep the two-state solution alive, stressing it is not a reward for Hamas. He said Britain stands behind the release of hostages, an end to the violence, and a shift back towards peace and security for all sides. The move is historic, as the UK once administered Palestine under the 1917 Balfour Declaration, which paved the way for the creation of Israel, but also promised to protect Palestinian rights. More than 140 countries already recognize a Palestinian state, and France is expected to join them at the UN General Assembly this week. But critics, including Israel and the US, have condemned the UK, its decision as symbolic, saying it changes little on the ground, given ongoing conflict, divisions, and expanding West Bank settlements. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
You are listening to Road to Republic on New Era TT Radio. When Trinidad and Tobago became independent in 1962, the Queen of England remained our head of state. We had our own flag, anthem, and Prime Minister. But the Governor-General still represented the Crown. For many, this meant our story of self-rule was not yet complete. Over the next 14 years, the push grew stronger for full sovereignty, where no foreign monarch would serve as our nation's leader. That dream would finally become reality in 1976, when Trinidad and Tobago declared itself a republic. That was Road to Republic on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The Mid-Morning Mix and Mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Watch out strong and so. Time to take a shower. I'm looking for shower. Hey, she gave me a dipper. Time to leave the house. Look under the bed. I'm looking for shoes. All I see is a head. Hey boy, what you doing there? Easy, you go dead today. Hey boy, what you doing there? What you doing in my girl place? Well, I start to run.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Watch out, the cat grip me when she bend down and I choke in it. Watch out, the cat grip me.
All right, everybody, and of course, welcome back. Oh, yeah, good to have you. Hope that all is well with you. And you got all the information you wanted inside of our 7 o'clock newscast. Of course, this is New Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean, where we take you above and beyond. We're also on Gael Caribbean, so I want to say good morning to all the folks who are picking us up via Gael TV. Good morning to you. Remember, you are welcome to join in the fun, all right? Yeah, you can give us a call, get connected. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, just to do a little house cleaning on the inside, remember, you can get us all day, every day at newerattradio.com. We stream all throughout the day. New Era TT Radio. You can get us on TuneIn. So you get us on all your Alexa and Google devices. That is so good. And for all our folks on the different platforms, YouTube and Facebook right now. Remember, your next engagement will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon inside the Drive Time Exchange with Tony Fraser. All right, so we look forward to Tony Fraser on the commentary in between there with his guests. That's at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Like and subscribe, follow the channels, and don't forget to hit the support buttons. Right, we need your support to keep us on air. So wherever you see that thing hit mark support, or they hit it, right? Anyhow, we will be back shortly, so continue to vote on the polls.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Devante tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair. We do it all.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
It's the funniest comedy, rated 10 out of 10. You don't leave out to watch Corn. Now hits the Central Bank Auditorium on Saturday the 27th of September at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 28th at 6:30 p.m. before heading to Sapa San Fernando on October 4th and 5th. It's the best show of 2025. You don't leave out to watch Corn. September 27th and 28th at Central Bank Auditorium and October 4th and 5th at Sapa. Call 481-2185 for further information. You don't leave out to watch Corn.
All right, we are back. Yeah, we are back from our 7 o'clock news. Was that an echo? All right. And we can get straight into our poll results. Richard, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Our poll this morning was, do you expect full disclosure from the Minister of Homeland Security reference his alleged meetings with imprisoned gangsters? Of course, he is being called upon to make full disclosure. He is supposed to address it today. I'm not sure in what capacity though. Is it just he's just having a press conference to deal with it? I'm not sure. But do you expect full disclosure? Ready. Diane Payne, no. Marlon Motley, no. Ava Smith, no. Derek Billuen, no. Rena Jennings, no. Boy Bidesi, no. Lester Cradwell, no. Helen Prescott, no. Jaron Joseph, no. Stellar Services, no. Melchizedek, no. Ron DeSantis Jr., no. Magic, no. Miguel Gonzalez, no. Ilarizan, no. Apollinaris, no. Gregory Boyer, no. Hazel Will, no. He's Mr. Riddles, yeah, sure, right. DL, no. Can't even get a full sensible sentence from him. Joyce Phillip, no. Eunice Dublin, no. Bernadette Yates, no. Kenny and Harlem, negative, so that's no. Wayne Joseph, no. Kazim Mohammed, no. Beauty Culture, no. Valerie Mendoza, no. Margaret Thomas, no. Akello Charles, a long time Akello. I want to say yes, but no. So it's no. Big Money Grip, no. Estelita Sampson, no. DL, so Derek in red today, when he was in yellow Friday. Freeway, no, that's a new name. Carol Guevara, no. Joyce Phillip, love Derek additional. I'm not sure what is that. Oh, okay, close. Cheryl Henry, you didn't vote. Joseph Clement, no. Michael Oliver, no. Cheryl, oh, she votes now. Cheryl Henry say hell no. James Kamau, no. Michael Cadet, no. Susan Jessup, no. Kurt Narcissus, didn't vote. Felix Cazo, no. Colton Finch, no. Crystal Stevenson, no. Mrs. R, no. Ann Noel, no. David McCarthy, no. Michael Robinson, no. CJ from New York, no. Scorpion Pepper, yes, in parables.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? That's a yes or no?
Well, yeah, they say yes. What Scorpion Pepper is saying that he will get full disclosure, but in parables.
All right.
Susie B says no.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it for on the chat.
All right. So on the WhatsApp, we have Brenda saying no. Black Pearl saying no. Judith in Tobago saying no. Junior saying no. Zena saying hell no. Captain Ron says no. Mahi says no. Kurt Edwards says no. Pauline says no. And Sexy Reds says no. It's just a no thing today.
Yeah, that's not the first time that has happened with one of our polls.
Is that it, Sir Charles, or you have more?
That is it. That is it for me.
And Bendel?
No, yes. It ended at Susie B.
Okay.
So
our poll this morning, do you suspect full disclosure from the Minister of Homeland Security references alleged meetings with imprisoned gangsters? We had 58 people voting on the poll this morning, and of the 58 people voting in the allotted time, 57 of you said no, you don't expect full disclosure from the Minister of Homeland Security. One person said yes, they do, even though they say it'll be in parables, but they did say yes. So one person said yes. 57 of you said no, you do not believe that you'll get full disclosure. That's it for our poll this morning. So the nays have it. What am I saying, nays? The nays have it this morning. People voting in a vast majority saying no, they do not expect full disclosure from the Minister of Homeland Security. And that's it for our poll this morning. It's now done.
No, Margaret, it didn't break records. Our record is still 72. We have come close on Friday with 71, but our record is still 70. All right. So we have our guests in studios here?
No.
Okay. So we are waiting to be joined by Deputy Commissioner Junior Benjamin. Let me just message him and remind him. I'm sure he's up and ready though. But
yeah, I was just asking him if anybody just.
He's not coming in.
He's now coming in. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But his devices are not connected. DCP Benjamin, if you're hearing me, and I think you are, you need to exit and accept the permissions of your mic and camera.
Yeah.
The app would have asked you to allow mic and camera. You need to agree, else you wouldn't connect to the studio. So you may have to exit and do it again. Usually when I send them the thing, I would give the instructions along that line saying and accept mic and allow.
Yeah, well, all that was said. All that was said.
We've interviewed Mr. Benjamin before.
Yeah, but people could forget this is not their life. Supplemental platforms, they forget.
The breakfast show is not people life?
No, they could forget when they're joining us.
I want to see you convince them that bunch who was there by the house on Friday that.
Go to allow mic and camera permissions. So you always have to include that in your thing to them, Charles.
It is there.
Allow mic and camera permission.
Yeah.
Not the standard one that StreamSide extends, you know.
No. But yeah, I will do it over.
Actually see that. So he's back in. So we can get into our Let's Talk segment. And of course, this is our Let's Talk segment with somebody who has been here before. And good morning, DCP Benjamin, and thanks so much for joining us on the Breakfast Show once again.
Pleasant morning to each and everyone. It's indeed a privilege to be with you here today.
Morning, Mr. DCP Benjamin. Nice to see you again.
Certainly. It's a privilege to be here.
Yeah, welcome.
I like how you're already set and ready for work, man.
Hello. You have to do it early. You know that's how it is. You know, again, the way how life is, we always have to be ready and alert. So I'm ready. After here, straight to work.
But you have a job we don't envy one bit.
But we know you're let's start off. We know you are a spiritual person, and in terms of your belief in God and stuff like that, and I know just to get this out of the way, you will at the point that we spoke to you last, you were the acting commissioner of police, and of course you were a candidate for commissioner of police, and you weren't successful because of course Commissioner Tobago is now the commissioner of police. How did you take that news? Were you disappointed on a human level, and how do you manage that kind of disappointment? How did you manage it personally?
Yes. So first of all, I start off by giving God thanks and praise. Every time I look at myself, I see all these gadgets. I am so thankful, for where I am. And I think that's where it starts. It starts with appreciating and being thankful for where you are. So that, when I looked at myself, when I joined the regulars in 2000, I was 29 years of age at the time. And the most I could see myself at that age is probably meeting sergeant or inspector. To be here as a deputy commissioner at this stage, it's only the grace and the blessings of God. And sometimes when you are thankful for what you have, you don't envy what you don't have. I'm grateful that even within my sojourn with 24 years, I was able to meet all the way to the top, experience all the ranks within the police service. In fact, I would say I'm the only person in the police service that has experienced all the ranks. So I have the joys of having all those experiences. And even though I did not get the position, I believe that, my life is based on the will of God. And I think it is Commissioner Guevaro's destiny to be there. And therefore, if God has him to be there, I am there to support. And therefore, I am very comfortable. And, I am still very much secure in myself that, my purpose in the police service is not over. I continue to do it and be that supporting role so that at the end of the day, the only place that must win must be Trinidad and Tobago. And again, the glory of my God in terms of wherever I'm called to function.
You know, DCP Benjamin, even outside of the fact that you are a religious person, I think you could not have said it better just now, in that people just simply need to be thankful for what they have.
But that's a religious answer, Wendell. So what you're talking about? What you're talking about, you couldn't say it better than that. That was a religious perspective.
No, not necessarily so. Not necessarily so.
Of course it is.
Anyway,
go right now. So anyway, DCP Benjamin, thank you very much for your answer, as you said, through the lens of how you see life, and that's how I expect you to answer.
Okay, sir.
But you know, I wanted to get to the issue of the current state of the TTPS. Of course, that's where we wanted an assessment of where you saw it was at, because you have different issues. You have the state of emergency that's on. You have what is a perceived or an actual increase in police killings. The no-nonsense approach of the TTPS. How is it sitting with the morale of the TTPS officers? I remember at the time that the last time we spoke to you, you said TTPS officers their morale was a little low. I think at the last time we spoke with you. How is the morale of the rank and file at this point?
Well, the morale, I might say, has increased tremendously. One, when we look at the morale of the officers, even in terms of the different activities and strategies used by our present commissioner, I think has really helped us in increasing the morale of the officers. One of those things is where you would see that quite a number of awards has been given to persons who have probably key persons in terms of persons finding firearms and also persons being charged. That in itself is an awesome moral booster for officers when we understand, again, you know, even though it started before the commissioner, it again happens within the framework or the time where he's the commissioner. We have the bulletproof vest now coming into focus, where officers can now have the bulletproof vest so they can feel more confident outside there. Again, it is another moral booster. And as we continue to move forward, what you're seeing is more and more things are being put in place for the interests of the officers. And coming up soon, we have some more moral boosters coming again, because there are things that I don't want to bring it out too soon, but we have some other things coming up to really increase the morale of the officers. Notwithstanding is that the public as well, you look at the feedback, as much as you might find people talking about the police killings, clearly, I think one of the main things that you have missed is that we are one of the most leading countries within the region, and even I might say the world, in terms of the reduction in crime. And when you think about, we have 267 against 458 last year. Certainly, if you don't need to be a whiz to think that something has to be going right in terms of the police service. And the number of persons, you know, in John Public that has really seen the difference in the police service is also adding to the morale of our officers, seeing themselves as a much better alternative in terms of how we were in the past.
Yeah. Deputy Commissioner, how do you respond to the statement from the Minister of Homeland Security, who said that there are people apparently in the executive of the TTPS that are not supportive of Commissioner Guevara and they should leave? How would you respond to that?
Well, the reality, as I said before in a prior conversation in another place, is that, you know, I see it as very instructive. Understand, I don't think that there is a perfect organization, and therefore you are going to find persons who support or don't support. But I can tell you the majority, if not all, there is absolutely, you know, that support in terms of the forward initiatives of our Commissioner of Police, and I tell you, he's doing a tremendous. I'm not mumagaing anybody. The Commissioner is doing a tremendous job, both within the organization and without. And sometimes I even ask him, I say, where were you all the time? But again, God will always reveal persons at the right time. And therefore, we support our Commissioner of Police 150%, I say even 200%. And even we are saying that if there are persons who do not share that view and believe that they probably deserve or they should be there, as the case may be. We are saying, hey, it's time for you to get your act together, and I think that is what the minister is saying. We have to operate, ensure that we're going in the same direction and that we're shooting in the same goal, as in football, and therefore it's time for everybody to get on board. And I think that is very instructive. Nothing is wrong with that. I think who the cap fit, let them wear it. And for us, I think that the overall, the morale, even within the executive, is pretty high.
I want to congratulate the TTPS, of course, in terms of that murder rate that you just mentioned, having declined almost by 50%. Not I don't know
42% was the last that I recorded.
Yeah. So I think that's a really good statistic, and you should be commended, because we blame you all when the murder rate is high. So you should get the praises now that there is a reduction statistically. So I want to get that out of the way. Congratulations with regard to that. Linking to what Wendell just asked you, though, you had a very public, very media centered news about Officer Meister, being sent on 16 months leave, I think, 16 months, connecting, and then you had these statements coming from the Minister of Homeland Security. So it seemed like there was an intersect, naturally, that people are going to read, because people are always trying to read what institutions are saying, because institutions are not generally very frank about what's going on behind the scenes, naturally. So media and citizens are always kind of reading the signs. Meister is sent on 16 months leave, and you hear the Minister of Homeland Security in terms of what Wendell just asked you, and I think he's contextualizing it along that line. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's contextualizing it along that line. In addition to which, you had a blogger, news source, I believe it was, that had access to some of the leave of senior officers at the TTPS, where there were officers with more leave accrued than Officer Meister, who weren't sent on vacation leave. And I know the commissioner raised issues about how did news source get that information, and made certain allegations of who they know might have whistleblowed, so to speak, on the issue. So there was no indication that leave, as indicated by news source, was wrong. It seemed as if, in fact, indirectly it was validated. So these kinds of things raise issues. Was there a problem with Officer Meister?
Right. So I do not know of any problem. Again, I would just say that, even in terms of when I sat on the chair, it was one of those things that in my contemplation, I'm saying sooner or later, it would have been a decision that I have to make because of the number of persons that were probably on the executive that probably even had leave, and we had to ensure that at some point in time, persons take leave. How you make that decision would be totally, within the prerogative of the Commissioner of Police. But certainly, once persons are accruing excessive leave, you have to take a stance. You would even hear, I think, the president of the Police Social and Welfare Department saying that he was also given a letter for leave. So quite a number of persons had accrued, a large amount of leave. You don't necessarily need to go from the most senior person or even the one that has the most leave. The idea is that no matter persons having excess leave, you need to ensure that they go on leave, and you probably would want to use based on where persons are situated to choose exactly who should go. And I think the wisdom of the Commissioner of Police, based on his situation and where he's sitting, he chose to allow ACP Meister to go. I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that he operated within the wisdom that is within his domain, and therefore it is something that each officer must also monitor, that the amount of leave he or she has within the service. And in order to have effective service, some have to go on leave and some have to remain while they are on leave. So it's about balancing both sides.
Yeah. In addition to the sending of ACP Meister on leave, I know the commissioner also announced some changes with the deputy commissioners in terms of their portfolios. When is that expected to happen?
That is expected on Friday, in fact, when he gave us 14 days, which is the expected part of the procedure, so that we can ensure that we close up and be able to have that proper smooth transition. And again, there is absolutely nothing wrong. I would honestly say that was something as well in my contemplation while sitting there, but I thought it was not prudent at the time because of the fact that you're not sure how long you would be there to one change, and then it creates a problem. No, I said if I was confirmed, that would have been something that I thought would have been necessary, and therefore I think that the commissioner, again, through great wisdom, has thought it necessary to again move the DCPs. I think that all DCPs should have a comprehensive knowledge of all the different areas. There are 3 different areas: administration, intelligence and investigation, and operations. And if you really want to be able to be holistic, you want to ensure that your DCPs have at least times in all areas, so it doesn't matter where they are, they have a holistic appreciation of what it is to lead the organization.
Yeah.
Tell me something. Under the state of emergency, wasn't leave suspended? That you couldn't take leave?
No, I would not say that leave was suspended. We were given leave, and we were given leave based on the merit, based on the situation.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. The issue of the positions, I think, right? Are you the one right now, under which the issue of police officers in schools that comes under? It comes under you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I was given to be the liaison officer for the officers in school.
Right. So we have armed police officers in schools right now, in certain schools. The issue of the body cams. And of course, this is an age-old question that crops up from time to time over the years that we have interviewed senior police officers. The issue of body cam seems to be, but it's not seems to be, it's obviously the TTPS as an organization, and certainly the people that make decisions seem adverse to wearing body cams. That's the only conclusion you could come to. Over the years, how difficult it has been to get body cams, from training that took 3 and 4 days. They said we have to go through training. That was one of the excuses we got at one time. And we were like, what kind of training you have to go through for a body cam? And that will take weeks. That was one. Another version was that the body cams weren't right. They were falling off. Or some
and the battery wasn't lasting.
The battery wasn't lasting. A whole series of events and excuses. Are we any closer to police officers getting body cams, DCP Benjamin?
As I listen to you, please forgive me. I'm not trying to make this a funny thing, but it's the way how you bring it across. Let me just say honestly, the situation that the TTPS finds itself, I think, is absolutely no fault necessarily of the TTPS per se. But I'm still saying though that we are in a situation where we are seeking to look at to get body cams. We recognize the need for it. Especially when we see the increase probably of the shootings by the police officers. It's important. We believe that body cams are important for the police service, and also to lend a level of transparency to the general public. So I want to say that we are in full support of the body cam. The little that we have, we are dealing with some internal issues that we believe is of utmost importance in terms of our procurement process. And we want to make sure that those body cams that we need to procure is done properly and is basically the ones that is fit for purpose so that our officers could use. So we are working on it.
Well, especially, I know Richard started off the question by pointing to your involvement with the police officers in schools. Isn't it should be a priority that these officers in particular use body cams because they are interacting with minors at the end of the day?
Well, I am saying, I mean, yes and no, because you want to be very careful having school children, again, image to be all over to be, you know, in places. There's a need to use it if you might probably have to deal with a fight or search. But in all these things, always remember that there are persons around who are able to witness what is happening, and there is nothing that beats witness that person witnessing it. If we are going to search a person, we have put the necessary protocols in place where that it must be a person of the same sex where you're going to search. So, and even if the police officer is to do that, he will carry the student in what we call a suite, and with the permission from the principal, there will be a teacher of the same sex there to ensure that it is done properly, or that the teacher of the same sex does the search and not the police officer. So we have put a lot of things to ensure a level of transparency in everything. At no point in time, you know, it should be a police officer in a room alone with a child, you know, that is of the opposite sex and these things. So we have laid it quite clear to our officers. Any officer found in any untoward behavior will be dealt with full brunt of the law. So we have laid this thing down, and we are saying that with or without body worn cameras, our officers are ready to do the job. And at the end of the day, we must allow it, you know, allow time to see whether or not this is working. So far, it is working for us, and we believe it is creating a safer space for our children to learn.
Yeah. Were these officers specially trained?
Yes. Yes. We had 95 officers specially trained, conflict resolution, how to deal with youths, and you know, de-escalation, and all these things. You know, community partnership, community policing initiative, philosophy, and all the different things that goes with it. So these officers are specially trained for this. At least 95 of them were trained.
But they're armed police officers, and I know there was some objection from TUTA and the National Parent Teachers Association against armed police officers being on the school compound. That was overridden by, I have to assume, the Minister of Education and, of course, the senior decision makers of the TTPS. Why armed police officers? Because and the NPTA and TUTA, who are the people who are accustomed to the issues and problems in schools, so these are the experts really in the school system, more so than the minister on a certain level, and more so certainly than the police, and they raised objection against armed police officers. Why were they overridden?
All right. First of all, you agree that as the experts, they would have known about the problem, and the problem still exists. That's why they call in the police, right? And
well, I don't know that they called in the police. I think the police was a state solution.
Well, again, it means that there was a problem to call in the police, and it was getting out of hand. And therefore, I'm saying that we need to appreciate that the work of the police, we are there to support the security infrastructure. We are not coming in there to control the school. The principals are in charge of the school. And I saw a lovely video. I don't know if you saw that video of a police officer in uniform playing badminton with a fellow student, you know, and so on. And in her, you know, it was so beautiful, because I'm saying that is part and parcel. It's not just police just walking out. We are interacting with the students, creating that bond, letting them know that we are your friendly police officers. We are here for law and order. You come to learn. Let learn. You understand? Let's ensure law and order within the school. We are walking around and again seeing the police officer there, whether with non-lethal or less lethal, weapons as we would call it, or even with lethal. It is part and parcel of the tool of trade of the police officer. If you walk down the street, those children are up and down, and the police officers are there with their firearm. They do die from shock when they see it. So I'm saying, in the school, why are we acting like if
it's not the same thing. You must recognize it's not the same thing. Seeing police officers armed on the street and police officers in the school compound where children, hundreds and hundreds, and in some schools maybe thousands, close to 1,000 children running around or moving around. It's not the same thing as seeing police officers on the street. You must recognize there's a difference.
But Richard, you need to just go to America and see that when the officers walk into the schools, they have their firearms. They don't take up the firearms.
But this is a permanent presence at this point.
Yeah, and the point is, at the end of the day, but when the police officers are there, they are interacting, because even if we have less lethal, you have one of the less lethals that we have is a taser. It looks like when you have it on the side, it's like a firearm. You understand? At the end of the day, you come around to look what is all of that. If a situation comes, a person, we have children that are parts of gangs. If a person decides to run into the school and make a massacre, what the police officer is to do? To say, hold on, let me run and get a firearm and come back. We can't do that. We are here to ensure that we defend the students, the teachers, as well as the visitors. The school has to be a safe space. And therefore, we are saying you don't wait. And that's the problem we have in our society. We are reactive. We need to be proactive. And I'm saying that police officers, we are the police. And therefore, we understand the state that these schools are in areas where it is likely we are putting the necessary infrastructure to ensure safety and security of the children, the teachers, as well as the visitors whenever they come into the school space.
Isn't it the dismantling of gangs? Because you're talking about gangs being in the schools, but the issue that gangs have not been dismantled, isn't that part of the failure of the TTPS?
No, because again, we are twofold. We are both the disruption and dismantling. Dismantling is very, very difficult, but we are certainly doing the disruption part. You just look at the crime statistics, it will tell you that. You look and you see last year that Port of Spain was the hottest place. You understand? Now Port of Spain is nearly 60 to 70% reduction in crime. It means that there is a disruption taking place, Richard, and I'll have to bring the stats and help you to see it, that it's quite clear that you're seeing now the movement because of the intensity and the strategies of the police service that is working. The gangs are now disrupted, and you're seeing them now going to the outer ends. And therefore, it means that we are doing quite well in terms of or what we call mapping of the gangs, and therefore we are able to identify a lot of the gang members, and again the SOE is helping us to be able to deal with that gang situation in a more effective way, instead of going through the whole idea of the length of time it takes to go after firearms and these things. We are now able to move much faster.
I'm glad to hear that there's a disruption, and next time we have you on, maybe you could present the statistics, not just for me, DCP Benjamin, but for our listeners and viewers in Trinidad and Tobago and up the Caribbean, because I'm sure other Caribbean people would be interested in seeing how this is working. So if you could present the statistics next time you're here, it would be helpful.
Yeah. Sure, but I can tell you now, you understand, if you need, the big difference that we are seeing, especially in places where we saw that there was high gang activity last year compared to now. I can give you that stat if you need it, but we can do it next time as well.
Yeah.
DCP, what I'd like to find out is that same with what is happening with the schools and the officers in schools now, and we know that some of these children and other individuals on the outside will challenge this system that is being put in place. What kind of support is being lent in case some something escalates in the school and there has to be a heavier police presence in the area and stuff? What is in place for things like that?
So there are 50 schools, and let me just put it within it. There are 50 schools where we're going to have police officers. There are further 10 schools, secondary schools, that we're going to have roving police officers, and about 10 other primary schools that we are going to have roving police officers. These 50 schools that we are looking at are divided within all the divisions. In each of those divisions, we have the community policing secretariat, which is really responsible. I should say the community policing unit is responsible for these officers in the schools. So in every division, there are community policing units that will also visit these schools to ensure that everything is running smoothly. We also inform all the divisional commanders of these schools as well, so that therefore any assistance that is needed at the spur of the moment, the assistance will be given to these officers in school if for any emergency. All right. We have also ensured that even in while we are at these schools, that we put the necessary infrastructure, not just to deal with the officers in the presence of the officers, but also to deal with the behavior of the students. So therefore, we have some what we call conflict resolution caravans and these other things that we would be putting in place. We have the community policing going and speaking to the students who are normally those that we might call troublemakers and so forth, and creating a further additional layer to deal with the problem, so that when the time comes for the police to withdraw, we'll be leaving a better and safer space.
Okay. One other question I'd like to ask, and it has to do with the fact of, if I may call it, like sting operations from the police and stuff. We've seen a number of crimes taking place, especially in the Port of Spain area. People are taking people's chains, bracelets, and that sort of stuff. In the middle of the day, within an SOE, there seems to be no plainclothes police officers. There seems to be no a police officer that somebody could call and say, look, this just happened, and people are just doing things and walking away, not even running away anymore. What is being put in place to deal with things like that?
Well, the truth is that is nothing new to Port of Spain. That kind of behavior has existed for quite a while. We are seeing that we have still seen a reduction in terms of the amount of larceny that we've seen compared to last year. Nevertheless, I still believe that the one that we see might be one too much, and even those that we are seeing, it is happening in a very blatant way. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, especially what we have done, we have decentralized the CID department that was once, at the police headquarters there, and it is now under the Port of Spain Division for Greater Management. Being there, we recognize that we will have them based on the divisional commander in different areas to ensure that they deal with these situations. And it is something that we are looking into, to have more patrols in the area. And therefore, it's just that if you notice, we need police everywhere. Police is in schools. It's like, everything the police. And therefore, we have a limited resource, and we have to try to deal with everything. So certainly, while we're trying to deal with our operations, we're trying to, have, the schools. There's a lot of different things are going to fight for attention, but we are going to ensure as much as possible to still have a more visible presence in these areas to ensure that anything of that nature that we seek to desist. And
even sorry to interrupt you, but even though I think what Sir Charles is asking, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that you see these incidents and they're caught on camera, and I assume the TTPS has technology to enhance whom the perpetrator is that committed the crime. And you just don't get the sense of that there is any follow-up. And I think that's the key, that we see the incident happen before us in terms of what plays out on social media. And we are not sure that that person is ever held accountable, even though they were quite visible.
Right.
And whether the TTPS may have done the job and held the perpetrator, but we don't know that.
Right. Yes, and I think that even when in dealing with that, we have to be so very careful because a person is still innocent until proven guilty. So you can't say, well, okay, you see this person here, we have just caught him. Once you put that person, pick the person up there, no, it means that if that person has to be tried, you have already assumed that the person you have in custody is this person. And a person can start to say, oh, that is a crook right there. You understand? And you have to be very careful how we go about that. So even when we have these persons who, again, when they want to show persons' faces, we have to be very careful that we are not violating a person's right. So again, certain things you are not going to see the police coming out and champion. This is what we have done. But it's because we have to ensure that even as an attorney myself, we have to ensure that persons' rights are not violated. And that
but you can indicate.
But Mr. Benjamin, don't we have a police-sponsored program? Don't we have a police-sponsored program that shows these videos with these guys' faces and so on?
Yes, but certainly I am saying that even though if we want to find a person, you could do that. After you find the person, if you find the person, to say, okay, yes, this is John Brown, and we found him, and da. I am saying you don't really see us going that far. We will say, if you know this person, we want to find out. You see this instant, we pause a picture. If you know anything about this, let us know. Yes, but after we've done, you don't see, oh yes, you see this John Brown, we found him. Yes, he's going to get thing. We don't do that kind of thing because at the end of the day, I'm saying when that matter goes before the court, we want to ensure that there's a level of fairness and justice to the individual because a person is still innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. But are you satisfied with police, how I should put it, responses and information coming from reports that have been made against people, even against police officers? Are you satisfied with the information that's coming out in a timely manner to give us an update on what's been happening with some of these cases?
Yeah, I think that I think sometimes we need to be honest with ourselves. There's a need for greater improvement, and therefore there's room for us to do better. I believe that our ability to follow up on reports is an area that we need to work on. So therefore, I would always encourage my officers and even the public to have some patience with us, because I think that when our report is made, that at least within a 2 weeks time, or even within 2-3 days, you should get a report from the police as to what is happening with your matter, and so forth. 2 weeks after that, at least know that, hey, we have not forgotten you, but hey, the latest on this is so. So when you do that, then the public have greater faith in you and know that, hello, the police is very serious about their business. So I'm saying these are the things that need to be improved if we want to not just deal with the reduction of crime, but the fear of crime. When you want to really deal with the fear of crime, you really want to ensure that there is better customer service and better follow-up even as we move forward. And it's an area I think that we need to be honest, we need to work on, and I can assure you that we will be working on those things as we go forward.
Yeah. You are set to move from DCP operations, I think, to DCP administration, and you said that it's just a change up in portfolios to give people the experience. Is that what you said earlier on, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that that's one of the benefits of the change. One of the benefits is that it's going to give you that holistic development as the deputy commissioners. It's important to have that personal development and also that professional development, having the different areas. There are 3 different areas, and it's important that if you really want to see your officers develop, that you give them the experience.
But the fact that you're the DCP that has made himself available to the media on a regular basis, I would imagine that things will improve administratively when you take over that portfolio.
Well, again, that is it will always depend on the individuals. I have always seen myself as one that believes that it's important to embrace the media and even deal with the tough questions. Not everybody might have that that tendency.
Skill set.
Thank you, Kylie. But it is something that, I think, though, that the public needs to know what is happening. And I'm always open to, wherever I am, to embrace the media and to share, what is happening, at least within the framework and the limits that I am called to work within.
Well, DC Benjamin, that's where we're going to have to leave the conversation this morning, because you're right up at 8 o'clock news. But thank you for the conversation, and thank you for being accessible, and thank you for, answering the questions that we've asked this morning.
Thank you kindly. To each and everyone, have a blessed day.
Thank you, DCP Benjamin.
Okay, then.
All
right, so 8 o'clock news
is up next.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Finance Minister Devendranath Thankoo says government is not making joke in the fight against corruption, as Parliament on Friday approved two major pieces of legislation aimed at tightening financial oversight. The Miscellaneous Provisions FATF Compliance Bill and the Counter-Proliferation Financing Bill impose fines of up to $1.75 million for breaches by financial institutions and listed businesses. For the first time, the Board of Inland Revenue will also have legal powers to investigate tax-related offenses, a move Thankoo says will strengthen the fight against tax evasion, money laundering, and terrorist financing. The bills also give the Financial Intelligence Unit stronger enforcement authority and require greater transparency in company ownership to prevent the use of shell companies for illicit activity. Thankoo said the reforms bring Trinidad and Tobago in line with international standards, protect the financial system from abuse, and safeguard the country's reputation. The bills passed with 27 votes in favor, none against, and 7 abstentions from the opposition PNM. Police are investigating the death of a 12-year-old girl whose body was discovered near a recreation ground in Friendship Village, St. Madeleine, on Saturday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as Mariah Senath, a student of St. Madeleine Secondary School, who lived at 3rd Street, Circle Drive, Hillview, Friendship Village. Her body was found shortly after 1 p.m. in a bushy area, off a pedestrian track near the Friendship Village recreation ground. Authorities say Mariah had left her grandmother's home at Cipero Road around 7 a.m. that morning, reportedly to return to her father's house. She never made it. At approximately 12:50 p.m., a female resident who was walking in the area noticed a group of dogs and, upon closer inspection, found Mariah lying motionless on her back with what appeared to be a bruise to her stomach and grass around her neck. The informant immediately returned home and contacted the St. Madeleine police station. First responders arrived on the scene at around 1:08 p.m. and located the girl's body approximately 5 feet off the track. She was wearing a gray jersey and black 3/4 length track pants. The area was cordoned off, and investigators from Homicide Bureau Region 3 and crime scene investigations were called in. A high court ruling is being described as a landmark victory for teachers in Trinidad and Tobago. Justice Avasan Quinlan Williams has found that the Ministry of Education breached the constitutional rights of former secondary school teacher Nirmala Sesnarayan when it repeatedly denied her promotion, despite her earning a University of Trinidad and Tobago degree as required. The judge ruled that Sesnarayan was treated unfairly while colleagues with the same qualifications advanced. She was awarded almost $800,000 in damages for loss of earnings, distress, and vindication. Sesnarayan, who resigned in 2022 and later migrated, said she was frustrated by years of delays and broken promises. Her attorney, senior counsel Anand Ram Logan, says the case is a victory for hundreds of teachers who pursued UTT degrees after being promised promotions, only to later have their qualifications rejected. The judgment is expected to open the door to more legal claims from similarly affected teachers. Police are investigating a suspected gold jewelry scam that left a Chaguanas woman nearly $20,000 out of pocket. The 26-year-old victim told police she connected with a man on Facebook Marketplace who posed as a scrap gold dealer. On September 17th, she met the suspect at the Coroni police station compound, where she handed over $19,600 in cash for jewelry said to weigh 140 grams. But when she later tested the items at jewelry stores in Chaguanas and Port of Spain, she learned the pieces were fake. The suspect has been identified as a man from Thomas Street, Marival. He's described as slim-built, dark brown in complexion, about 5 feet 7 inches tall, with cornrows, heavy sideburns, and a mustache. He was last seen wearing a black jersey and black pants. Police are urging anyone with information to come forward. In the region, tensions are rising in the Gulf of Paria. Venezuela's defense minister, Vladimir Padrino Lopez, announced that the Venezuelan military will be moving closer to Trinidad and Tobago. In a televised address, Padrino said the deployment of 60 units to Sucre State, just 8 miles off Trinidad's northern coast, comes on the instructions of President Nicolas Maduro. He accused Trinidad and Tobago of being a source of fuel smuggling, weapons trafficking, and human trafficking across the narrow stretch of water that separates the two countries. The minister said the operation will cover all 15 municipalities in Sucre State, aimed at flushing out what he described as terrorist groups and drug trafficking organizations operating in the area. The move follows earlier warnings by Venezuelan officials of a possible military response to growing tensions in the southern Caribbean. In international news, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced that the United Kingdom is formally recognizing a Palestinian state, a move strongly opposed by the United States and Israel. Starmer said the decision, taken alongside Canada and Australia, is meant to revive hope for peace and keep the two-state solution alive, stressing it is not a reward for Hamas. He said Britain stands behind the release of hostages, an end to the violence, and a shift back towards peace and security for all sides. The move is historic, as the UK once administered Palestine under the 1917 Balfour Declaration, which paved the way for the creation of Israel, but also promised to protect Palestinian rights. More than 140 countries already recognize a Palestinian state, and France is expected to join them at the UN General Assembly this week. But critics, including Israel and the US, have condemned the UK, its decision as symbolic, saying it changes little on the ground, given ongoing conflict, divisions, and expanding West Bank settlements. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
You are listening to Road to Republic on New Era TT Radio. By the early 1970s, conversations about becoming a republic grew louder. Independence had been a proud step, but many leaders believed the journey was unfinished. Dr. Eric Williams and the People's National Movement argued that a true republic would better reflect our identity as a free, sovereign people. The call was for a system where our head of state was one of our own, not a monarch thousands of miles away. This national debate paved the way for change and a new constitution. That was Road to Republic on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Pay $1 down on higher purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Chamflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Chamflair. We do it all.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
It's the funniest comedy rated 10 out of 10. You don't leave out to watch Corn. Now hits the Central Bank Auditorium on Saturday the 27th of September at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 28th at 6:30 p.m. before heading to Sapa San Fernando on October 4th and 5th. It's the best show of 2025. You don't leave out to watch Corn. September 27th and 28th at Central Bank Auditorium and October 4th and 5th at Sapa. Call 481-2185 for further information. You don't leave out to watch Corn. Who does that?
Well, yes.
Those tickets available for You Don't Leave Out to Watch Corn at our usual outlets, and that's K Squared Fashions, West Mall, K Squared Fashion, Eastgate, K Squared Fashions, Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, Electronics Arima, Jabidi Rabe, Tunapuna, and Toomey's Florals, Val Park Shopping Plaza, and Chamflair Auto Services. Of course, tickets are also available from today at the Central Bank Auditorium box office, which opens 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. So you can get tickets at Central Bank itself from today, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And all of those other outlets I just mentioned, you could have gotten tickets since last week there. They have their tickets a little while now. So you have lots of places you can get tickets. Check RSRR Productions Theatre on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok for how you can purchase tickets online. And of course, for more information concerning the show, we are so looking forward to being at Central Bank Auditorium. We haven't been there for the entire year, actually. So it'll be great to be back at the CBA this weekend. So looking forward to it. Don't miss it.
You know what? I want the TTPS to make a statement. And first, let me thank DCP Benjamin for making himself available again to us on the Breakfast Show to talk about a lot of issues. Of course, there's so many issues to deal with the TTPS, right? But you know what they need to do? They just need to tell people, call a press conference and say, listen, Trinidad and Tobago, we are not going to be using body cams. Do not ask us anything about it again. We are not going to be using it. They need to just say that so that we can't be doing these kind of interviews over and over and over again with the TTPS or whoever to talk about body cams. Just say, listen, I'm
going nowhere with it.
Yeah?
I'm going nowhere with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it seems as if the old guard of the TTPS, I'm not speaking about DC Benjamin specifically, but the old guard, which of course are the ones that are rising to the senior levels at this point, are reluctant to have body cams because they have not for their entire career at the TTPS been that transparent.
No.
Transparency is a hell of a thing,
Yeah.
So to be so transparent in terms of your interaction with the members of the public, it's not something that they're accustomed with. The younger officers may be more accustomed because they would have watched enough episodes of all sorts of police shows where body cams are now part and parcel of police forces, modern police forces across the planet.
Yes.
But But for the older guard, that kind of transparency, they're reluctant. Obviously, they're reluctant. Because the conversation we having too long.
Yeah, don't ask us anything about body cams anymore. We are not going to be using them. Take out all your phone and film, do all you want. But we are not using body cams. That's what I need to say. You know, but kudos to them. I mean, just weekend, I think a woman was charged for some annoying language thing with a police officer. She tell a police officer something about something, not even obscene, but the police officer just didn't like the response of the lady. I can't remember what she said. You understand? And that's a charge.
Now, those kind of charges, when you get to the station and the supervisor in the station is there, and she a charge, you know, for annoying language, she tell me how you know, whatever she tell me. The senior police officer is supposed to say, stop that nonsense and let the woman go, please. Hello,
Richard, trust me, that senior officer will be written up by that junior officer.
Okay,
they don't know that?
And that's part of the leadership. Say, write me up if you want. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. But see, because senior officers are afraid now of a lot
have
of them.
Some balls. That's why you're a senior officer.
Exactly.
You can't be afraid of that. If you see something that being oppressive to citizens, or just because she tell you something you don't like and you want to bring her in and give her a charge, you're supposed to say, hey, that's nonsensical. Write me up if you want, let go that woman.
Yeah. Yes.
Guys, you know, we talk about so many things today, but you know, there was this sad situation with this little child in Central that got killed. Leave home, you know, I was supposed to be going by the father, and it seems like these things every now and then just keep replaying themselves. I remember not a while we had a situation like that somewhere else, and to know that these things are still happening.
I don't know. I mean, such as horrible, tragic situation. I saw the news last night or over the weekend, and I don't know if I had a good child. Then that could be anywhere unless I understand life and circumstances, but I don't know in this day and age that my girl child, even going down 3 blocks down the road, I will say I drop you.
Yeah. You just cannot take chances.
I'm sorry, I said I drop in you.
Yeah.
But daddy, I could walk for the 3 blocks. I am dropping you, get in the car.
I lived in St. James, right, on the Western Main Road. My daughter went to Mukrapo Girls RC School, which is right up the road. She never went to school by herself, you know. It's literally a 2-minute walk up the main road. She never went to school by herself, you know, and never came home by herself. These monsters.
And I mean, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to be that concerned, but it's life. And I don't think it's necessarily a Trinidad and Tobago issue. I think
no, it's not.
Life is you have monsters wherever.
Yeah, but it just goes to show, you know, how the thing when we feel that the thing. I mean, and just as we talk with DCP Benjamin, you know, and the police, everything is the police, but at the end of the day, you know, who else do we call and who do we depend on to keep this place safe? Because it seems like people who are involved in crime and want to do things, their space and the way that imagine with all the technology today, somebody could still feel empowered to do something like that.
But look how they rob this lady in the police station, carry fake jewelry there and take $19,000 and go away.
That is a bold thing.
In the police compound, on the police compound, I should say. I'm not saying the station.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
That was a story I read, a headline this morning.
Yeah. So he didn't even think twice. Hey, boy, this is fake thing, you know. I go by the police and suppose that one police officer decide, boy, let me see that thing here. He didn't even consider that. He ain't care about that.
They don't care. People who are bent on that life don't care. You understand? thank God for some two back-to-back SOEs where we could have the rate down. But it's still crazy in this place. You know?
Yeah.
It's
And what
still
next?
crazy.
And what
I know
next?
I've seen one where a guy stole jewelry off a girl's hand. Just grab her hand and take off like the bracelet.
And walk away comfortable.
And walk away comfortably. Yeah. But that's one where I think with their technology they can enhance it and see what it is. And with all due respect to DCP Benjamin, I'm not asking you to show the guy face. If you have problems with that and innocent until proven guilty and all of that. But you could say, out of this incident, we have detained somebody.
Richard, you remember I reported here that I had an industrial fan. I shipped it down from man.
Yes, I
remember had that. It in my rumbox.
Yeah.
They came and stole it. I provided the TTPS with video. They came and recovered the video of the guy stealing the number, the car, the vehicle number, everything. I have never heard from the TTPS since.
Crazy. And that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. Because if you let those little things get away, it reduces confidence in citizens that you are capable of anything.
And boosts the confidence of the perpetrators.
Exactly, that we could get away. We could go and steal that fan. Somebody enjoy the breeze of your fan when they're right now. And say, oh, that's the best thief we ever do.
Imagine
it's real hot, but look, we have fun.
The man actually take the bracelet off the woman's hand and walk away. Though. He ain't running. No,
he just walk up the road, and the girl was so stunned. And it had somebody right behind her. They didn't know the robbery take place. They dancing in the road. So, I said, like, what is this?
Wow!
It's surreal. And now she just kind of took it and just looked back and was afraid to come. But you know, it has some.
Didn't know what to do.
No, it has some that say, "Hey, that man take my bracelet, stop him!" And they racing down that man. You know, that's some women like that. Some of them in the stream right now. Yeah. Some of them in that stream right now, talking right there. They were running down that man. You know.
Yeah. Mrs. R, I could see doing that. I don't know why I feel she. I don't know why I feel she go run down and lock my neck and beat him. I don't know why I seen her that
way. Yeah, but the lady clearly was.
Zina for sure ain't taking that. Zina ain't taking that.
She didn't even. The lady, while she wasn't even sure to the person who was walking with her to say, "Auntie, look, the man now take my bracelet."
You know, I think like she told her, but she was so stunned and kind of afraid. That's what you got from her.
And I'm like, walk away, boy.
Walk, you know, you ain't run.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, tomorrow, please God, it's been a blast again today. Of course, we'll have a public holiday in celebration of Kishon's gold, Jareem's silver, and TKR victory. We'll have a public holiday on Wednesday. Okay, just remember that a public holiday has been declared on Wednesday, right? And by tomorrow, we will have an acting prime minister. I think the prime minister is heading off to the UN today, either today or tomorrow. We'll know who the acting, and we'll do that as a poll tomorrow. We'll give you 5 names, and you're going to vote on those 5 people as to who will be the acting prime minister. All right? That'll be our poll tomorrow.
Finance minister. I'm voting for the finance minister.
Now his name not on the list. I put the 5 names in the chat already.
I think it will either be either be Munilal or Jerlene John.
Well, our names will be Dr. Munilal, Jerlene John, Barry Padarat, Roger Alexander, and Khadija Amin. Right? Those are the 5 people.
I don't see Roger Alexander. Sorry,
you'll get the vote on.
Or Khadija. I don't think they'll put Khadija.
Khadija, no, I don't see Khadija either.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't see Roger Alexander.
2 females and 3 males.
Right? You can replace Roger Alexander and put the finance minister.
Replace Alexander with Tanku?
Yeah.
All right, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah. So Alexander ain't getting nothing more. Look got all the shit in the man, so. But we'll do that. So that'll be our poll tomorrow, right?
Anyway, have a fantastic day. Whatever you do, remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Thanks so much for joining us on The Breakfast Show this morning. We know you have a choice of whom you watch and listen to on the morning, and we're grateful that you chose us.
Yeah. Bye-bye all. Have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. One life, live it.
Absolutely. This has been the Breakfast Show. Just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco